All right. So good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Nobody wants to talk,
Good
right?
morning.
All right. Good morning. All right. Now you can see. All right. So it's a new month, isn't it? Isn't that great? You guys are moving and shaking, and we got some winners showing up. I love it. Good morning, Jamie. How's it? Does it still feel good to win?
Yes, yes, it does. Yes.
I'm so proud of you. But really, guys, it does take a team. And you notice above my head today, I have leaders group. You are a group of leaders and emerging leaders and people that are coming up. And that makes me excited. It really does. I know we've got more coming in here. Um, so, Julie, if you do me a favor and watch for that and just let them in. However, this morning is going to be really important because we dropped some bombs last night. And now what's going to happen, and this is a great leaders moment, okay, is that you're going to have people with questions, including yourself, because when they start asking questions, you're going to start having questions. And one of the things that I'm going to do a better job of is follow up and follow through, like I'm asking you to do. So many times, what happens to us is we get caught up in our own world and we get so busy that we do not reflect on the things that we've made promises to do, and then pretty soon you sound like a bad leader because it wasn't something you said or did. It was more what you didn't do, right? And I'm going to tell you, I ended a conversation with a couple of you yesterday with the number one thing that I'm concerned about, and that's communication. Communication has to flow very easily back and forth to people. And one of the things that we have to help us with that is Telegram. And we have coaching chats specifically set up for a great flow of information. Not, as you know, I listen, if you're a leader and you're using Telegram, you already know that you might be involved in multiple telegrams, like coaching chats. Okay. Now, those coaching chats have everybody in your lineage all the way up. Okay. Your manager all the way up to me. And so that's who's on those. So great communications keeps everybody involved. Um, Not sideline conversations, not having chats that don't involve everybody. That is a gigantic mistake. Okay. It's not because Big Daddy wants to look at everything that you're saying to people. It's for us to be a great group of leaders that we work together. Okay. And that's critical in the success of an organization. Um, I see one of the biggest mistakes. I don't care if it's volunteering, church, business. It doesn't matter. Families. Um, the biggest destruction that happens is the lack of communications. You ever you ever heard that communications are everything? And I'll go a step further. Great communications. But I'll also go on the back end of that and say bad communications result in terrible outcomes. Terrible. And so I work my ass off, excuse me, at being a really good communicator. Okay. What does that look like? Number one, I respond quickly to the people that I really need to. And so that's important. And guys, I know it's not always easy to do, but I want to recognize somebody. Okay. I don't know how the heck she does it. Kathy Seehafer. Kathy, you are absolutely in this group, bar none, the best communicator there is. And you not only communicate up and down, but and by the way, she's got things that we work on, and I'm not going to go through that stuff to help her get better at communications, clearer, and not so uh, well chatty. No, but actually to focus on the right kinds of communications. Okay, the clarity. Some of you feel like you got to tell me a story, and you got to give all the context and all of that. Um, Guys, to be a great communicator, that isn't what's important. What's important is clarity. And context actually sometimes creates clutter. So just a thought. Okay. Now sometimes you go, well, Jim, I don't get it. Like sometimes I just got a lot on my brain. Welcome to the world. I get it. But when you're communicating with a team of people that wants to go fast, it's got to be clear and it's got to be swift with speed. Okay. And what I'm recognizing Kathy about is that, I mean, literally, I don't know how she has notifications set up. I don't know, or how she knows and how she can interrupt a moment and actually communicate. But I never have trouble reaching Kathy. If I pick up the phone, if I telegram, if I text, email, anything, she is on it. And I love that about you, Kathy. I absolutely love that. And I'd like all of us to get great at that. Lauren Shea, Lauren, um, you're an emerging leader, and I'm so proud of you in that area, communication. You communicate. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Julie, Julie was talking to me. Oh, cleaning people are here. Um, so it's really important for you to understand that, Lauren, communication, and I, I honestly, I can't, in the deaf community, I think it's critical. And I struggle sometimes, using the proper language. So forgive me as your leader, that um, I struggle communicating sometimes because I don't know the differences and feels awkward sometimes. But when you communicate on your channel, I'm very clear about what you're thinking in the moment. You do a great job of that. Um, Lauren, as all of us in this group, um, struggle sometimes with the voices in our heads, right? Um, and right,
Right.
and I I do too. Welcome to the club. Um, Welcome to humanity, right? But I want you to know, guys, that the greatest thing you can do is establish great communications between each other and the teams you're responsible for. That's your number one thing. And honestly, your team should come first on all communications within the business. The second person that communications should be in line with is your leadership chat, okay? In your coaching chat. I mean, that should be urgent every day throughout the day. Some of you, the other day when we posted, hey, one of the things that's happening to you is you're getting distracted. Well, last I checked, you're not $1 million earner. And frankly, you don't have that many people, okay, that you're supposedly communicating with. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm asking you to step up in that area. I'm going to step up in that area myself. One of the things I'm going to do, we announced yesterday we announced a really important announcement, sprint to district. And so I want to bring some clarity to that today because, like I said, things like that are always going to bring up questions. So let me try to address some of those questions. I made some notes for myself this morning in preparation for today's meeting. And I want to make sure that you are clear in different scenarios. Okay. And so the reason why I'm recording this is so that you can go back and watch it. I'll also kind of share my notes on the leadership group. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. What I don't see enough of is that when you've read something and you get it and you got it, emoji it in our groups. Okay. Stop telling me stuff like, oh yeah, I read that. But then you don't follow through. And then I'm like, what? I don't get it. And you hadn't emojied it. And again, I understand how it works. Okay. I understand you can go down to the bottom right-hand corner and see who's seeing it. Just click. Okay. Hello, everyone. Are you there? Just that tells me I read it, I acknowledge it, and I'm taking action on it. And I would establish that kind of relationship with your teams. Number two, I see way too much of this. And I'm going to help you this morning with this. And by the way, it's a hard thing for me too. Do you think that when you're recruiting and building an organization that you're going to lose people along the way? Yes or no? When you go into a war, a real live war, like what's going on in the world today, and by the way, has been forever. There's been wars all over the world, almost all the time, during biblical times. Yes? Are there casualties in war? Many kinds. And people still deal with it today. By the way, people that have been involved in war, or just in the military, suffering from PTSD and all of these things. Yes? That's a casualty of war, let alone death. Yes? It happens. That's life. A mistake that we can make in leaders, in being leaders, is when you're running an organization, especially as it grows, you're going to have to understand there's going to be some casualties. Now, why is this important? The reason why that's important to know is because you'll take it so personal. I can give you warning signs. I can help you if you communicate with me. But too many times, you guys are trying to handle people on your own, and you're not asking for leverage from your own leader. You're trying to handle it on your own. And here's the problem. Here's the dichotomy. I say, get independent, right? Right? Find independent leaders, right? And so you try doing it and you fall down. And then I try to correct you and you don't like it. Truth? So what do? That's all I've learned. I thank God every day I had people around me that I go, hey, man, I suck. I'm terrible, right? I'm a bad leader. And that's what I was saying to myself. And then I would tell my friends at higher levels in the business, in the business community, I go, I'm just not cut out for this leadership thing or this people thing or this sales stuff or any of it, right? And the reality was, I just needed to grow. Guys, I couldn't have told you in a million bazillion years that I would be happy in a financial services organization. Couldn't have told you in a million years. Because that's what I thought it was about: money, math, all that kind of stuff. Sales. You know what I learned? See those words above me? Leaders group together. Leaders. This business is about people. Question: is church about people? Well, it's about God first. But those of us on earth here still, it's about people. And so if there's one thing that I want us to constantly improve on, it's people skills. Skill with people. Selling will come and influence will come no matter what word you want to use through you improving your skills. With all that being said, I want to talk about sprint to district. So we made this big bombshell announcement last night, right? And a lot of you don't understand yet. In fact, some of my leaders that have been here for a long time still don't understand the effect of an announcement like this. It's gigantic. It's way bigger than you understand. And here's the challenge that I have for you. Sometimes when somebody that's been here or involved in a business for 40 plus years, they override your success because your success equals their success. Sometimes you might have to take some stuff on faith as long as they're not asking you to jump off the edge, right? Until you understand. That's sometimes what you have to do instead of trying to figure it all out. And you know why? Let me talk very clear. You will stay stuck because you can't figure it out. And then you go, oh, what that really says to your leader, I don't trust you. So if you're stuck in your brain, you're really saying if your leader calls a play, the reason why I'm stuck is because I don't trust them. And sometimes trust of other people comes from because you don't trust yourself. And that comes from poor decision making. And let me help you with that. Indecision is a decision. So let me give you one. There's a bonus. You're going to make bad decisions in your life just like you always have. With a smile on my face. Not making a decision is worse than making a bad decision. You know why? Messes with your mind. Let me give you another one. Quickly. As too many of us marinate that and we think that's a better way of thinking, and it's not. We lead an organization, and I feel honored and blessed to lead this organization that requires unity. It requires it. And if we're not all on the same page, we're not going to get there. So this announcement is critical that we're all on the same page. And so let me help you. So I said last night that, let me move you guys out of my way. What is a district? Why is it important? And how to become one? Well, bigger than that, it's a play that says, do you want to double your pay for half the work? Yes or no? If you wait, You're going to have to do twice the work for half the pay. Get that verbiage down. Because many times people will suffer from moving forward, not so much for the positive, but for the negative. Do you understand what's going to happen if you don't do it? You're going to have to do twice the work for half the pay. That's crazy. Doesn't it make more sense to do half the work for twice the pay? Okay, you can respond. Doesn't it make more sense to do half the work for twice the pay?
Yes.
And by the way, I'd smile when I'm communicating to them on Zoom and I'd go, yes, good. Now we're on the same page. This slide right here, look at it. You can use it. I gave it to you last night. Started a 50% contract versus a 25% contract once you're licensed. Now, where some of the challenges is probably going to come up with you is, well, Jim, what if, I know you've never thought of this, I have, and I have the answer for you. What if I got somebody that's been here for a while, right? They've been here for a while, and either they're beyond the period of getting their bonus anymore because they're still not licensed. Listen carefully, or they are licensed, but they've been here a while, and now how do I run that play with them? Yes? Okay, so let me help you. Let me help you. In the first 30 days, what's the number one thing right under first 30 days? Everyone.
Complete personal client experience.
And then I have in parentheses, what is that?
Personal auto and home quote and personal life insurance premium minimum.
And then I said last night, and I've said it several times to our groups, listen, if they have poor health, but they still went through the client experience, I can't make them have life insurance, can I? I even watch some of you leaders go, well, Jim, I don't understand. Like, how can we run this play if you said you're going to count it? Yes? What's that mean? What's that look like? Scenarios like that. Yes? No? I mean, I'm not getting any feedback here. You can talk.
Yes, that's what you said.
Okay, good. So didn't you go in your head go, because at first I know I saw your reactions. It's like, well, how do you do $3,000 a premium? And then if I have Jamie apply for insurance and she doesn't qualify, how does she get credit for that? She doesn't. But look, did she complete the client experience? If she had poor health? Yeah, we found out. But I won't accept money as an excuse. I won't. You know why? I believe so much in what we do that you better get life insurance before you get sick or have mental health issues. Because when you put on an application that you're being treated, by the way, when somebody goes to a mental hospital and they go to a doctor, is that reported to the MRB? It is. One of the things I hate. You mean if I go to counseling, is that going to be reported? They don't even know. They might not even get life insurance now. Oh, yeah. From anybody. Why? The insurance company is afraid that you might do something. You're unstable. So if you answer yes to that question, that could become a health issue. You better understand it clearly. I'll give you an example. Recently, we had one that had ADHD, and they checked yes on the app that they have mental problems. And I chuckle because it's like, that's no. I bet if all of us were tested for ADHD, many of us might have. I mean, I heard a statistic once, 71% of people have some touch of ADHD, especially in the world we live in today with TikTok and social media and stuff like that. We've learned to just like, oh my gosh, right? Everything is just like, man, if you don't keep it moving, I'm going to get bored. So that's what's created a society like that today. And by the way, groups like us, we can help that. You know why? A lot of those people, they're stuck to their phones. They're not stuck to their friends because they don't have any that they can really talk to. And guys, what I love about this group is it's way more than a business. We help people through some very difficult things that are going on in their life because we provide something that a lot of places don't. It's called hope. Now, hope without money ain't going to cut it. So you have to learn how to do this. Okay, you have to learn. So with all of that being said, how can Sprint to District help somebody that's been here a while? Well, let me help you with some details. You go, well, Jim, why did you put all this down? Because I'd have a freaking book. Okay. If you got a specific scenario beyond what I'm going to bring up this morning, then let me know. Okay. Just personally text me. And then if I feel like it's going to be something that will help the whole group, I'll post that question and the answer in the leaders group. Okay. That's how we do that. That's how we communicate. All right. I've determined that it's something that will benefit everyone. And by the way, most of your questions will benefit everyone. So how does poor health, if they go through the client experience and don't complete a life insurance process? Well, first off, how are you going to know if you don't complete the life insurance process? Yes, you just do it COD. Okay. If it pops up and you go, gosh, I don't know, and it's going to pop up, it's going to be more prevalent to pop up than it is not. Okay. Meaning that when it pops up, that doesn't 100% mean that they're not going to qualify. Okay. So once you get better at understanding what things and what the question is being answered is, you'll get better at that. But the way it helps is that if you've gone through the client experience, we'll count it. Not money, but health. Why? Because I want them, listen, if money's an issue, you all got to agree, listen, then we just got to look at the life insurance, like what amount of life insurance should they take out that they're going to absolutely keep paying for every month. And I just got to make that firm. Guys, everyone can afford $50. Come on. They go, oh, I can't afford $50. That's ridiculous. Seriously, if I looked at where they're spending money, I'm telling you, that's the issue. And the issue is an issue of priority, and that's on us. Because you tell me why you shouldn't be put to the front of that line. And secondly, you tell me why you should play God. Because are you ever going to be in a position where you absolutely must have life insurance? The odds are much higher than for it than it is against it, that you'd never need it. The only people that are never going to need it, Jeffrey did an eloquent job last night. Are you kidding me? You buy insurance on your friggin' cell phone? to protect $1,000 one time for your phone, but you didn't take care of you? That's, well, you can call it what you want. So you got to become better at communicating, right? Right? And that comes with influence. How you do that. Remember, there's only two reasons why people don't move forward in a decision. It's either they don't understand or they don't believe. 9 times out of 10, the reason why they don't believe and they don't make proper decisions for themselves is because they don't understand. And being too wordy and talking is like this. Asking questions is like this. Mary, I'm sorry. I'm not understanding why you don't have money. May I ask you a couple of questions?
I see.
Number one, why doesn't it make sense to put you to the front of the line of every bill you pay? Why doesn't it make sense that you put you, number one, on the list to be paid every month? Why not? Who are you living for? Everyone else? And what does it cost you if you don't? Shut up and listen. Stop spewing information. Listen, they'll tell you. And they'll tell you exactly what it's going to take to overcome their issues up here. Okay? Sorry for the to move, getting off the track. So if they have trouble with their health, it's okay. They went through the client experience, right? I can't control whether or not they get auto and home, can I? In fact, some states, they can't even apply, right? But I want them to be able to if they can. If I find out they can't, I'm not promoting them. Does that make sense? So it says 3 recruits by 3,000. What about this one? What if they have 2 active recruits right now? Do they have to recruit 3 people this month? No, they need to recruit 1. What if they have 3 active people, active, plugged in? They show up on Tuesday nights. They respond to you. They're alive. Right? Yes? Hello? That's who. Be smart. This isn't personality driven, okay? It's by what they do, what actions they take. That's how I identify leaders, not just because I like someone or I think they're going to be great. I like a lot of people. Guys, there's very few people that I haven't either liked or learned to like and love in my business through the years. Do you know how many casualties I've had? I've lost RVPs. RVPs. Julie, I've never made a list of how many RVPs I've lost, but I've lost a few through the years. I've
Jim,
lost way more people than anyone here.
can I ask a clarification question?
Yes.
All right, what I just heard you say is if they have 3 recruits already that are active, they wouldn't need to get 3 more.
That is correct.
But the
Isn't that how our
3,000
guidelines have always been?
sometimes we forget, need to be reminded, but the 3,000 in premium, that would need to be
Must be
personal?
done. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Must be done in 1 month. And it is not personal. It is team. Now, let me continue. Because some of you, you fire questions so fast they didn't even marinate yet. The 3,000 is team. What is the minimum always been on personal? It's never changed for me
1.
to, what?
1.
Yeah, 1 by 1. 1 recruit by 1,000. But if they already have a personal recruit, do they have to do the 1 recruit? No. They do have to do the personal premium. Why? Here's why. Because think about this. If I promote you to district and you didn't do anything, and the person above them overrode or got credit for everything, now what would they get? A promotion to district, and now you become sidelined. Hello? Just nod your head if you understand what I just said. So if they become sidelined, do you override them? No. But what do you need to do to go to division? You need one district. See, some of you, I've asked a million times, study compensation and it will teach you what you should be focused on. And so I'm going to give you a lot of help in these morning meetings over this next week on this issue because I don't think you get it. And your people, if you don't get it, your people don't get it, right? You should be like, a question was asked the other day, should I have an emergency meeting with my team? You know what? Stop taking the shortcut. You should have one-on-one meetings, very specific. Your groups are not that large. You can't have one-on-one meetings with people. And don't be having one-on-one meetings with the wrong people. Okay? Having one-on-one meetings with the right people, helping them understand how to do this and answering their questions. Yes? So what if I've been here less than 30 days? Can they still get a bonus? Yes. They can run this play. If they're brand new right now, you know what I'd be doing if I was sitting here right now? I'd be making a list of all my brand new people that are still in that process. How do you know who that is? Recruit Tracker. Right? And I'd go, these are people I need to run to district. And then, by the way, I'd look above them and go, who might that help go to division? And who might that division help go to regional? Yes? So that's a big deal. So let me be clear, Kathy. They got to do 3x3 for sprint to district. But before that, what must they do? Their client experience. If they have poor health, I can't control that. They still get credit for the promotion because you must complete that. Now, why are we making it mandatory to at least complete that? Why? Because how in the heck are you going to tell other people about the process if you haven't gone through it yourself? Does that make sense? And by the way, from a teaching perspective, how are you going to teach someone else how to do the process if you haven't gone through it yourself? Does that make sense? And so we want everyone at least being exposed to it. I can't control the outcome of it. I can control the action of it. Does that make sense? Now, again, what if you have somebody been here a long, long time and everybody they ever had quit? So they got nobody. What do they got to do? 3x3. It's that simple. Where would I start? With them. I'd go, you have yours in place. If not, that's step one. Have they called on auto and home? Have they gone through the client experience? Yes. By the way, some of you have been here a little bit. You got like a whole bunch of people like that. And you're all wondering, where can I go find business? Oh my gosh. This play you can go find business with. It's a big deal. Been here more than a year and have some people I've recruited who is still active. Who's plugged in? Who's still active? What if you make a phone call to that inactive person that was under someone and they go, I'm going to start plugging in. Can I get credit for that one? Yeah, well, then maybe you only have to do 2 by 3,000, right? Is that bringing some clarity to this play?
Yeah, Jim.
Now, let me give you another one. Some people, because we eliminated senior rep, didn't we? Some people still qualified for senior rep. Send me an email with who they are. We're already going to Recruit Tracker and other places and identifying people that have already gotten some of that stuff done and should be promoted, but it was never discussed with us in the form of an email. I feel like I'm because when I read a telegram, just so you know, when I read a telegram, just like you, and you get 4 more telegrams, what happens to the message? It's buried. My emails, that's one of the reasons why I clean them out every day. I don't know how much clearer I can be about that, but when somebody deserves a promotion, I need to know about it. Now, let me bring something else to light. Go to the very bottom of the page. And Jamie, would you read the very bottom, the last line of the page?
Six recruits by 6,000.
The very bottom.
Oh, I see it now. Promotion becomes effective upon life license issued and accepted by the company.
Yes. I got a question, y'all. Can you write life insurance if you're not licensed?
No.
So what good does it do to promote you to district if you don't have a life license? For the minuscule overrides, like the $2 that you get for overriding someone as a senior rep, in a rep under you, no. In fact, that's just a mess. And that's why I want to bring clarity to this game plan, because we're eliminating senior rep and we're just going to sprint. This play, just so you know, will be in effect from this point forward. But for those that didn't get it done in their first 30 days or 60 days from the past, guess what? They got a reprieve right now. You got a whole bunch of people that should run this play. Yes? They should at least know about it and clearly understand what's on the line. Listen, Jim ran a play that you should have lost once you got past 30 days or 60 days in your career. But here's your chance to do it. One time. What if someone under me does 3 by 3? Do I get promoted as well? Did I answer that? Yeah, because what do you got to do? You got to at least have done 1 by 1. If you already had one, then you didn't have to do one. You got 1,000. Now, man, throw out another caveat. What if the company's got a contest, which almost all of them at all below RVP do? You have to do 1 by 1 in the same month to get whatever goodies they have, like extra credits. They have all kinds of other things. So wouldn't it be smart that if you're leading someone to tell them that? Yes, you got to get your 1,000 done. That's really important. But also let's identify a potential new associate so that we can get you that one too. And then you double dip. You not only get a promotion, but you also get credits towards the contest. And have they done things like reset in contests? And they always include 1 by 1. So I just follow what the company has taught us over the years. And that's the guidelines I use. So you might go, well, Jim, why don't you put all those caveats and all these scenarios out there? Why? Because every one of those promotions, if you read our motion guidelines, and by the way, I'll have new ones come out. I just haven't had time to get it done. That's why I wanted clarity on this play. And that's why I just bought a few extra minutes. I'm cutting into Jeffrey's minutes right now because he's got a meeting with me right after this. So listen, I think it's a big deal to understand this, but not bog people down in the details. You just need to know how that works. Just like I could write a book on how to close. Seriously. And I could put that out there with every client experience. And guys, I'm going to tell you, you will overwhelm people. So this group, the people that really are running groups of people and teams, you really need to understand and have clarity on that, and at least have been spoken to so that you know how this play is run. Now, having said what I just said, is there any immediate questions on how to run this play? Have I covered every scenario? If not, Kathy?
I do have one, but I'm gonna reach out on my coaching channel. It's a specific.
Oh, yeah. If you have specific ones, reach out on your coaching channels. Like I got this person that, let me remind all of us, listen to this very clearly as we wrap up. I want to look for ways to get people promoted. It's in their best interest, which means it's in your best interest. And if that's communicated properly, you all win. I'll give you one piece of advice on how to communicate to people. It's listen. We have an incredible leader. Now, please understand, okay? I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back here. I'm trying to help you in communication. We have an incredible leader that we work with, Jim and Julie. They're great people. I hope you think that, but they're great people. And they called a play. And my, oh my, I've never seen anything like it. It's incredible. We got one chance this month to run this play. Now, why do I do that? Why would I say it like that? And why would I include Jim and Julie? Here's why. Because now when Jim and Julie is communicated to that Kathy is running for a promotion, what can Jim and Julie do? Support you and go, hey, I just want you to know you're working with a great leader, Kathy. She's incredible. I can now edify you. Why? Because you edified me. Your words will mean more when you take it off you and push it up. They just mean more. And then when I communicate or Julie communicates, we were all communicated to. Do you see why I started with communication today? You know what message I really want to stop? When we communicate to you and you say, oh yeah, I already had a conversation with them. Oh yeah, I already did that. How come I didn't know? I mean, that's got to stop. It's a lack of communication, because had I known that, let me be clear, had I known that, I could have supported that. Instead, I'm now identifying something that I feel like could help you, and you're, oh yeah, I already did it. Does that make sense? Doing it after. So you guys are like, be careful here, okay? Because I know some of you are going to think, oh my God, you're picking on me. I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just asking us all just to be better leaders and better communicators. Leaders are communicators, okay? Both in their family. I don't know about you, but I communicate to God like 100 times a day. Because I ask him for help with everything, every decision, everything. I was watching a podcast this morning, how to pray with God about your business. And I was like, well, that sounds like an interesting topic. And I liked her right away because you can see she's living it, and she's organized, kind of a structured way of doing it. And I was like, oh yeah, baby, I love this. This is good. It was perfect for me. And, you all talk about like, what should you marinate on? What should you wake up in the morning and think about? And I challenge all of us to think about what you're thinking about. And you got to stop your brain to do that. You got to just stop and meditate and stop being in a rush to do everything, yet be in a rush to take action. Does that make sense? Sounds like a dichotomy. It's really not. It's two separate things. All right. I hope that helps. I hope that helps anyone that was listening to this. And I got to tell you that